Hey there, welcome to my channel. My goal here is to use AI products to both enrich the learning experiences of our students and increase teacher productivity. Today we're going to talk about getting our classroom ready for AI. Literally man your battle stations. This year our classroom is going to be surrounded by AI products, and I promise you our students are going to be using them. There are ChatGPT is an app on the iPhone now. We have Google Bard. Snapchat has a built-in AI agent. Microsoft Office has AI. ChatGPT and Claude, of course, all AI products that our students will use if we don't give them the guidance on how to best and appropriately use AI products. So the AI products that I'm going to talk about are a specific subset of artificial intelligence. Consider artificial intelligence the broad scope. Then under that we have large language models. Under that we have generative AI. And under that, the very specific type of AI models that could be the most disruptive, I believe, to our classroom. And these are the text-based AI agents like ChatGPT, Google Bard, Claude, Bing Chat, etc. So how do we do this? How do we prepare our classrooms for AI? Well, I believe that it's the job of this generation of teachers to show the appropriate use of AI agents. Okay, we have to set the boundaries, define the proper and inappropriate uses. I'm not sure who else is going to do it if it's not us. So the goal for preparing the classroom for AI is to set the conditions, set the boundaries for our students, instruct them on what is the best way to use AI and what is inappropriate. In order to do this, we're going to use an AI agent to help us define and fight the AI problems we might have in our classroom. We're going to use AI to help determine a policy up front, and then how to put it together, publish it in syllabus format. Use AI to help us create a student contract based on the policy that we choose. We're going to come up with some ideas to help inform our students on how to best use AI products. And we're going to come up with a way to enforce and help monitor AI use in our classroom. So, the AI agent that I'm going to use today is called Claude 2. I had kind of been given up on looking at other AI agents. Some of the AI agents that I had tested just weren't even close to the performance I was getting from ChatGPT. And thanks to my boy Alex, he turned me on to trying Claude 2, and I have been very impressed with the results I'm getting from this AI agent. Claude is the AI agent from Anthropic, and in my past videos you'll know that I've used OpenAI's agent ChatGPT. In this case, I found the results from Claude just to be a little better for this specific task of defining a policy, determining a policy for AI, etc. In this specific task, I think the results I got from Claude 2 were slightly better than I got from ChatGPT. So now we're going to engage the AI. Okay, if you're finding this video useful, please like, share, subscribe, and comment too. So now let's go ahead and engage our AI. Okay, so this is Claude by Anthropic. As you can see, the interface looks very similar to ChatGPT. There are some significant differences in the interface. I'm not going to cover them all right now, but right down here, okay, is one of them. Okay, be able to attach files. This is a very handy tool that ChatGPT in 3.5 does not yet support. Okay, so I'm going to do a later episode on the basics and differences of Claude and ChatGPT, but for this purposes, I'm not going to go into those details. You're going to find the interface is almost identical. Okay, you may have noticed that my background is black and the background that you have may be white. I'm using a low contrast setting on my browser. It helps with the recording and the glare on my glasses, and I've also come to appreciate the lower contrast. I think it is easier on my eyes. So what we're going to do first is have Claude determine an AI policy, help us determine an AI policy. Now, I strongly believe that each teacher should have their own AI policy. What works in my science classroom may not work in an English classroom. What works in high school may not work in middle school. Some teaching styles may favor AI inclusion, while others may not. So even if you are not intending to use an AI in your classroom at all, I still suggest that you come up and publish that policy and use a student use contract. We need to be setting boundaries for our students. Okay, so the first prompt is going to help us generate a variety of policies and let us choose between them. So the prompt, which I have included in the description, is list 6 AI use policies for high school students. Range from never allowed to fully unrestricted, unsupervised access. Also vary amount of teacher oversight and amount of student disclosure. Okay, so let's see what kind of policies that Claude comes up with. So here we have 6 sample AI use policies. Here are the summaries of those. It starts with no access allowed, supervised AI access, limited AI access, moderate, broad, and full unrestricted. Okay, now we can select between these 6 different policies the one that best suits our classroom. This is a very typical thing I do with AI. I have it generate a set of ideas, and then I select and expand on those different ideas. So I kind of like number 3, limited AI access allowed for specific approved projects with supervision, and students must disclose their AI use. So I'm going to expand on policy 3. Oops. Okay, so now it's going to take my policy 3 that was summarized up here and give me an expanded version of that. Now I can accept this expanded version. I could modify it. I could do put it into documents, but this gives me an idea of some of the other considerations that might go into my final policy. Now, after we've determined a policy, again, I'm going to use policy 3 from a set of 6 that the AI generated. The very next thing we have to do is publish that policy basically for the public. Okay, this I did by putting it in my syllabus. This is something that my educators will see, my fellow teachers will see, parents will see, and the students themselves see. So this is a broad idea of my AI policy that I kind of put out there for public disclosure. So let's just ask AI to summarize this policy into 300 words for a student's syllabus. Okay, so it's going to now take policy 3, okay, and summarize it into 100 words for my student syllabus. Now here's something else you can try. Okay, you could look through this one and say, that's not really what I had in mind. You could hit retry, okay, and now get a different approach on that same question. Okay, now also, you may use a bullet point summary as opposed to a narrative summary. So I could also have this be summarized into bullet point format, just to make it a little bit easier, depending on what kind of format you use for your summary. So again, it's going to take my policy. It's going to kind of look similar to probably what was up here, but it's going to put this summary into a bullet point format, and I can go through this and add that to my syllabus. Another thing that I might try is to kind of make a poster or a brochure or something that I might distribute. So maybe we can have the AI give us a hand with that. Okay, so put these ideas into a one-page document suitable for posting and distribution. Again, I love the irony of the AI agent helping me define my AI policy. I love the symmetry of that. So again, it's going to take my policy and kind of make a little brochure thing that I could use to make a poster or a one-page document or something for my classroom. Now, the next thing we need to do, and I think this is probably the most important part of preparing our classroom for AI, is we need to generate a student use contract. So again, to create the student use contract, we're going to use an AI agent to write this contract for us. Now, here's the prompt. I've also included this prompt in the description. Please take this policy and put it into a student contract format. Include why this is important, include parent and administrator notification as consequences, include name and email address of parents, and include a paragraph concerning other teachers. So I've kind of been tweaking this, prompt engineering this along the way. This last statement I think is really important because I want to emphasize to the students that the policy in my classroom does not apply to the policy in another classroom, and I want to put that in the contract. So that's why I put that last statement in there to emphasize that idea. So now it's generating a contract based on policy number 3, and it's including and emphasizing these key ideas that I included in my prompt. So this may not end up being my final contract. I may tweak this again, but this gives you an idea of how your AI can generate that contract for you and at least give you the draft from which you can get started on. When I do my AI contracts, again, to emphasize this to my students, we read this line by line and I explain the why of that we need to have a coherent policy for. I go through each step of this. The next couple of things I want to show you is how we can use AI products to help us come up with activity ideas and help us enforce and monitor AI in our classroom. So the first thing I want to show you is something that you can use not just for AI products, but you can use AI agents to help you come up with activity ideas across the board. This one I'm just going to concentrate on AI activities. For example, list 10 activity ideas to help students understand why appropriate use of AI products is so important. Okay, so now Claude is going to find us 10 ideas that we can use in our classroom to emphasize this point. Case study analysis, research paper, a guest speaker, code of ethics, something we've already done, evaluate a real sample of AI policies and laws. So here's actually 15. I don't know why it just went over by 10, but it did. So it got excited and gave me 15 ideas of activities that we can use in our classroom to help out students understand why this is so important. Again, you can use the expand idea. So let's say I like this idea of role playing. We can just say expand number 6. Okay, now it's going to give us more context on how we might set up a role-playing game. The teacher will develop scenarios where AI systems cause harm to different contexts. Ooh, this looks pretty good. So anyway, this is an activity or a concept that we can use to come up with activities, not just in AI, but history, English, etc. You can go to your AI and get ideas. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you is getting some ideas on how we might monitor and enforce AI policies in the classroom. Okay, again, I love the symmetry of having AI agent, Claude, give us ideas on how to enforce AI policy in the classroom. Okay, so I'm going to do a prompt, list some ideas for monitoring and enforcement of AI policies in the classroom. Okay, and it's going to come up with some ideas. Here's some ideas: activity logs, screen monitoring tools, Go Guardian, code scans, assignment disclosure forms. Ooh, I like this one. Assignment disclosure form. So if you do turn in an assignment, and in my policy you're allowed to use AI, but you have to disclose it, I might come up with a form that they can use to disclose their AI use in their projects. So again, we're just using this to give us ideas, and then we can follow up on this. Okay, now let's go ahead and summarize what we have learned. So what we've learned in this video. We learned that AI products are going to be in our classroom. They're going to be everywhere. They're apps on cell phones. They're embedded into Microsoft Office. AI is not something that we can put a moat around our school and expect to keep out, nor should we. The best defense against inappropriate use of AI is defining the boundaries, defining what inappropriate use is, and educating our students. Now, what we did learn is we can use AI to fight AI. We learned that we can use AI to help us determine a policy that's specific to the needs of our classroom. We defined how we can use AI to construct a syllabus that is a statement of our public policy on AI products. We talked about how to write a student use contract, which is going to specifically define the boundaries of what's allowed and what's not allowed for our students. We showed us how AI can give us activity ideas, okay, on how to show our students the appropriate uses of AI and why inappropriate use is dangerous. And we suggested ways to monitor and enforce this policy, again, using AI as our idea generator. So, if you learned something from this video, please like, share, or subscribe, or comment. Thank you very much for your time.